Bon, Habib, du coup, tu pouvais rester un petit peu. Ah, très bien. Hi, Paul.
Oh, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Paul. How are you doing?
Yes, I'm doing very well, thank you.
Your background is incredible. It's a fantastic blue.
It creates a shadow across my face, but it's okay.
Yeah. You are purely digital. I hope you are a physical person in true. Um,
It is a digital world.
exactly. So, Paul, I give you the keynote space. I let you discuss about the postal in Africa and most specifically the digitalization of postal services in the African countries.
Yes, I have some slides to share. Is it possible?
I hope you shared. Yes, it is. Just wait a second. I think they will give you the access as an administrator to share your PowerPoint presentation.
Excellent.
It's coming. Oh, perfect.
Excellent.
Over to you, Paul.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon, everybody. It's my pleasure to be here today to talk to you about African postal services, a path to the digital emergence. My name is Paul Donohoe. I am the manager responsible for the digital economy and trade program at the Universal Postal Union in Switzerland. Firstly, I'd like to thank the organizers for allowing me to participate in this very interesting and important conference. And also like to thank the hosts, Côte d'Ivoire, for hosting this conference. Unfortunately, I'm not able to be there in person, but I'm very happy to be participating digitally in this digital conference. Let me begin by some topics that you have discussed already many times in this conference. We are now living in a digital world. All consumers and businesses are now online. That can be simply using cloud, mobile services, social media, or for more sophisticated businesses, then small and medium enterprises are now using the internet to conduct their business. Again, selling on social media or selling using cloud solutions. Big data is something that all industries and all organizations now have to consider as part of their standard operation, as well as mobile access to their customers. This is our world. And this is disruptive. This is disrupting the businesses, this is disrupting the governments, and this is disrupting society in some negative ways and in some positive ways. And this disruption is being caused by global companies, not just from Europe, not just from North America, but from all over the world now. And from Asia, from China, and from Africa. And I am excited that there is a lot of interesting innovation coming from Africa as part of this disruption that we are all facing. And we need to be, as an industry, the postal industry has been existing for hundreds and hundreds of years. The first letter was sent thousands of years ago. And it's important that in this time of disruption that we also, as an important industry, consider to move forward with new logic, with new approaches, and with new business models. The traditional consideration of writing letters and postcards to people to inform them is not the way that the digital natives are used to. The digital natives are now purely using mobile devices, the internet and social media for their communication, and they expect all industries to be able to support that. So we are in this massive period of digital transformation, and the postal industry, as a traditional industry, is also under this digital transformation pressure. Just to briefly introduce myself and the postal sector. So I'm from the UPU. We are a UN organization responsible for coordinating the international postal sector. The postal sector is in every country of the world. Post offices are the most important infrastructure in many countries. There are over 668,000 postal outlets around the world. The postal sector employs 5.3 million people, and that is growing. And it is part of the fabric of society. The postal network is a network of networks. There is a postal network in every country of the world, as I mentioned, and that postal network in each country is linked together by the UPU. We have a treaty, an international legal framework. We are the organization that standardizes and regulates the international postal network. So we are very interested in this digital discussion. Very importantly, during this time of the COVID pandemic, then governments have recognized the essential service that post provide. The network is a local network, it is trusted, and it has a reach to all of the population. So national governments have been using the postal network to support stopping the spread and treating the sick in countries with information, with personal protective equipment and tests, all being delivered through the post. And also for the delivery of prescriptions or medicines, for pensions and financial disbursements, and also to support small and medium enterprise business during this difficult time. And so this digital transformation of the post is now even more important, as we know during this COVID time, we have become even more digital more quickly. Digital transformation, which was a plan in many countries and many companies, maybe a 5-year plan, has been implemented within a series of months. At the UPU, we have conducted an in-depth study on digital transformation and postal services across the globe. This report is available on the UPU website. It provides a guidance to policymakers, to governments, and to postal operators on digital transformation of postal services. We found in this report 3 key areas where postal digital services are relevant. In e-communication services and e-government services, posts are active in Africa and around the world. Also in e-commerce, posts are active. And importantly in Africa, also in e-finance and payment services, there is a lot of activity. In the report, we also looked at the reasons for launching digital postal services across the globe. And here I focus on Africa, where the #1 reason for launching digital postal services was to be relevant to the market and to look for new revenue streams for posts. As people now send less letters, then posts need to look at new revenue streams and how to support those revenue streams. but also as well to leverage the Post image as a trusted provider of services, and diversify to stay relevant are important reasons for Post to move into this digital space. Within our study, we identified the different services. I mentioned e-government and e-postal services, and we have a number of basic services that Post are now providing in the digital world to customers. Most people in the world want to know where their parcel is. So track and trace information is offered by all Posts. Electronic notification of deliveries by mobile, SMS or other forms is also very high on the list of services that are provided. And a lot of other services are offered by Posts as general information services. We see also a strong push for Post to offer these services on mobile platforms, and this is especially important in Africa, where mobile is a significant access point. So there are a number of services of bill payment services, access to postal e-commerce services, access to government services on the mobile platform. And we see in digital finance and payment services that in Africa, there is a strong level of commitment for African Post to provide financial services. This is a very important revenue stream. In terms of traditionally postal services, then Africa is slightly behind the rest of the world due to the connectivity issues, but this is changing. There are also a number of government services that Posts in Africa provide now, and that is an increasing trend that we see. The reason for this to be important for the governments and policymakers is it helps to build sustainable development and helps countries achieve commitments for sustainable development goals. Some goals that are especially important are building resilient infrastructure. Posts are active in supporting the development of infrastructure, reducing inequality and poverty, and increasing inclusion and peace and justice and strong institutions. And here we have a number of cases from Africa, from Botswana, from Tanzania, where the Post is active in providing internet access. It's active in providing support services for small and medium enterprises in these access points. And in the case of Morocco, where Moroccan Post has launched a digital certificate and electronic signature service to support digital transactions within the Moroccan environment. I mentioned before, mobile is an important platform for the postal services. And we have many examples in Africa where mobile applications are being provided by the National Post to support postal addressing in Kenya with their M-Post service. In Ivory Coast, an app to pay bills and to access government document services with the documents.ci platform. In Botswana, citizens can pay government invoices and bills using a mobile app from Botswana Post, and also in La Poste Tunisienne. So there is very strong activity in Africa in these areas. We also have some insights into why digital postal services are not growing as strongly in Africa as in other regions. And we see some critical issues around lack of experts in digital skills and also insufficient resources available for Posts to invest in their digital transformation. And so we have a number of key recommendations that we provide with this report. One of the key issues is that governments can leverage the vast postal infrastructure for digital services. The physical postal network complements people's digital lives very well and creates a link between the physical and digital worlds. We are still physical people. So this link between the digital and physical is important, and having a national infrastructure to support that is vital. We see that successful posts using partnerships to minimize risk and maximize impact. Posts in Africa are working with local startups as well as international startups in technology to deploy services across the country. And many of the examples that I have given you have actually been partnerships between local IT tech companies and fintech companies to deploy those services across the country. Again, the post reaches everybody and is a natural partner for the delivery of those. And that helps also with access to finance. I mentioned that skills and finance are an issue within the postal sector. And there needs to be an increased investment by the governments, but also partnerships with the private sector can help address that issue that we see. So let me come to one other element of the interesting situation in the digital transformation of the post is also new technology trends that are happening. We know of sexy products, blockchain, artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things are being discussed, and these are also disruptive. At the UPU, we also are studying these advanced technologies and looking at the technology trends that are expected to impact postal services. We publish a regular postal technology radar, and with this radar, we identify what are the key technology trends for the impact of post. And we see that big data and data analytics and cloud computing technologies, those being available for post, is a significant influence, as well as new generation handheld terminals for postal letter carriers to be able to provide mobile postal services to villages using their own mobile phones, so that if people don't have access to technology and don't have the skills, then they can come to the post office, to the postman, to be able to do that. New payment technologies, mobile wallets, financial services, fintechs are very important for the future of the post. Then we also see cybersecurity. I know that these two topics are on the agenda of this conference, and we see these as very important for the future of the postal service. And we have at the UPU a secure, trusted internet space that we are offering for postal services in this area. So those general trends are highlighted specifically for Africa. We see new payment technologies such as mobile wallets and other fintech solutions being the key technology trend for influencing the future of African posts. But also we see big data analytics and cybersecurity as being vitally important. And the reason for that is that trust now in the digital world is becoming more and more essential. There is increased use of technology, there is increased information availability, but trust in transactions is vital. And at the UPU, we are building and have built the .post internet space to secure the postal sector and provide enhanced visibility and trust in postal services. We have a name brand .yourpost. We are encouraging all postal operators around the world to join this network, this digital network, and to .their post. .post is an internet identity for the postal sector. You will become more and more familiar. It is a secure ecosystem for innovative postal business models, and it is this network of trust, bringing all postal operators in all countries into a completely global network. At the UPU, we have developed cybersecurity policies for the postal sector. All posts are now encouraged to commit to complying to these policies in the area of email security, in the area of website security, and in training their own employees on how to secure the postal network. We provide monitoring service across all of the postal network. We have a cyber incident response team that can react, and we have a capacity building and training program to improve the skills of postal employees. So finally, let me conclude my speech by saying that hopefully from this you have learnt that posts around the world are digitizing. There is a digital transformation trend. Africa is in the middle of this trend. It's important that national infrastructure such as the post is considered as part of national strategies. And particularly because posts are serving a lot of underserved communities and excluded communities, such as women, the poor and the less well educated, and those in the informal economy. So for ensuring universal inclusion, universal digital inclusion, the post is a very important national infrastructure that the private sector should be partnering with to deploy services. And at the UPU, we have a call to action for African governments to speed up the digital transformation of postal services, to increase their investment and recognition of the importance of the post to provide digital government, digital e-commerce, and digital financial services to all of the population. So with that, I thank you for the time and the opportunity to bring you the view of the UPU on digital transformation of the post. We have some further studies that we have done on e-commerce and on digital transformation that you can find on the UPU website, www.upu.int.
Thank you very much, Paul. You did it perfectly. We have 2 minutes to go. I don't know if we have a question from the audience. I may have one question quickly to you, Paul. Thank you first for sharing the findings of your research you did with UPU. I have 2 questions, if you can answer quickly. Where do you see the most important digital transformation opportunity for the African region? And 2, how do you see the potential competition between the postal services, if they are public, with potential private services competing similarly in the financial ecosystem, as an example? How do you see this?
So let me take the second question. The post, as I mentioned, is a very important national infrastructure and actually can be a vital partner. So the so-called competition between private sector solutions and private sector services and the post, we don't see as a straight competition. We actually see it as co-opetition. That is competition and collaboration. And we think that for Africa to be truly digital, not just for the capital cities, but for all people in Africa to be digital, then this collaboration between the private sector and the public infrastructure is vital. And we encourage this private-public partnerships. We encourage tech startups and fintech startups to work with the posts to deploy their services across the whole of Africa and not just in the capital cities.
So you are not taking the first question. So thank you very much.
With regards to what are the most important areas of digital transformation, we believe that the financial services and e-commerce are the 2 critical priorities. And e-commerce can help small enterprises within Africa sell locally, but also to sell to the world. And we work a lot with African governments to encourage the post as a platform for small and medium enterprises to go online and become e-commerce companies.
Okay, thank you very much, Paul. I think we can thank you him. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you. Good luck with the rest of your conference.
Thank you very much. Have a nice end of day. Thank you. Alors, on va changer complètement de sujet. Nous allons discuter autour d'une innovation session qui va être faite par Facebook en live. Je l'ai mentionné ce matin, ça a été mentionné plusieurs fois, il y a les élections en Afrique, hein, vous le savez, et en Côte d'Ivoire en particulier. Et les réseaux sociaux ont une influence positive, négative, mais en tout cas ont une influence, et ça a été mentionné tout à l'heure par le CEO de Smart Africa. Les gouvernements ont tendance à couper les réseaux sociaux, WhatsApp ou d'autres, permettant ainsi à des forces d'opposition de ne pas pouvoir communiquer. En l'occurrence, là, nous allons discuter avec deux responsables de Facebook sur l'Afrique, Akua Bieke et Balkissa Idesido, qui vont nous parler de la protection de l'intégrité des élections africaines. Alors, je pense qu'on va pouvoir lancer